Testing 1, 2, 42, or in other words, hello. I am a giant cartoon squirrel. Well, a giant cartoon squirrel Moogle. Well, a relatively small but actually ordinary sized cartoon squirrel Moogle with a very large tail. But I'm one of those things. And you're watching me on Twitch. Or possibly on YouTube, depending. I hope you enjoy it. We're back for the longest journey, which is a video game. And hopefully, this time, maybe the game won't crash immediately upon our attempt to start it, which is what happened last time, which was kind of hilarious, actually. So, I hope everyone has been okay out there. I hope there's nothing up, nothing wrong, nothing weird, nothing bad going on. I myself have been all right. It's true, you can start scrolls up so they never stop. Unfortunately, I think that's illegal in some countries. You're just not allowed to, like, wind squirrels up and leave them go forever unattended. You have to have someone on monitoring duty to watch them. Happily, you all are here, and you can watch me, because you're on monitoring duty. So that's your job now. And it's true, Silver, you're late for work. Well, okay, you're late for what I would call work, which is observing me. So, earlier today I was having a conversation with someone about streaming and such, and they suggested that given how often I like to explode and generally be weird in textual chat space, I should get like a shoot 'em up boss explosion animation for my small avatar down there in the corner. Or maybe like the Mega Man boom 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 where he explodes and his balls go flying everywhere. The problem is that it would take money to have any kind of custom animation. Like, it would also take a Stream Deck to trigger the animations on my death in a game. So, I started considering more budget ways to convey the same thing, and I kind of wonder if I could overlay like the Aqua Teen Hunger Force explosion over myself, and just have that be the thing. The old $3 animation special from William Street. The problem with that is that I would have to live with having an Aqua Teen Hunger Force reference on my sprite sheet, and I'm not sure. The shame may be too great. I may die. I could perish. But at least I'm perishing with water. Water. That has absolutely nothing to do with winding me up or getting me started. But anyway, I have a butt, and it is fluffy. Yeah, budget squirrel mods. Like, let's be real. This whole thing is full of assets I have thrown together for free. Like, the only thing I've spent any money on is the games themselves. Silver here spent some money on the microphone, which I still need to dig out of the closet and look at the stand and see if I can get the little thingy to screw in and whatnot. But for the most part, this is an extremely rinky-dink operation. I'm on a lower budget than an episode of Season 2 of Mystery Science Theater 3000. And that's saying something. And you know what it's saying? It's saying I'm late to switch over to the game window. So I'm going to switch over to the game window. Yeah, there we go. And take a second to pop the chat out properly. Because I can't... There we go. There you guys are. There's chat. That's better. And now let's get this show rolling. On the roll. Let's see. I loaded up briefly earlier. Did I really save exactly the same game 3 times in a row? I think I did. Okay. Well, that means that it doesn't matter which one I pick. Alright, when last we left April Ryan, our heroine here, she had just fixed the water supply, I guess, to the building. Celine mentioned noticing a thingy, and here is the thingy. And she wondered about the description of the thingy. So, Celine, now that you are watching the VOD, which, you know, I'm sure you're doing. Hi, Celine, you're not here. Here is the description of the thingy you wanted.
Rust is the very definition of Venetian architecture. Think of San Francisco without the hills, Paris without the cafes. Venice wouldn't be the same without the rust. It would be better, not the same.
I hope we're all feeling enlightened. San Francisco has hills? Yeah, I guess. I mean, look. The sum of my knowledge of San Francisco is like... Okay, yeah, it's those hills in Sonic Adventure 2 and Crazy Taxi. So, yeah, okay. It has hills. While I was watching the VOD myself, I noticed that there was a really big, obvious poster back at the cafe that I didn't poke at. And I should have poked at it. So I'm gonna go poke at it. Poke. The house in Full House is on a hill, and also the house in Mrs. Doubtfire. Huh. You know what they should have done is they should have had an episode of Full House where the house slides down a hill and it crashes into another house and everyone dies. And then it hard cuts to black. And that's the end of the show. Forever. Anyway, I noticed this poster has, like, something at the bottom that I...
Roma Gallery presents Growing Pains. An exhibition by and for kids and teenagers. Could this be what Cortez was talking about? Where kids visualize their dreams? I think this may be it. Where's the Roma Gallery located?
I don't fucking know. Why are you asking me? Let's see. What's on the wall here? Grilled cheese and bacon sandwich. Fluffy 2-egg omelet and red currant jelly. Served with... Where are my glasses? Here's my glasses. Served with bone-fried potato? That cannot be right. That cannot be what that says. Home-fried potato. Okay, thank you. Not bone-fried potatoes. Well, hey, free tickets.
I never say no to a complimentary ticket.
Yeah, there might be food there. We could eat it. Alright.
It's the address. The gallery's located near the Watertown Bridge. It's all the way over in West Venice, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna have to catch the Metro Line subway to get there.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to get on the Metro. Cool. Celine also wanted me to look at my
Dad gave me this gold
inventory
ring on my 16th
very
birthday.
carefully.
It's a clamp.
Yeah, it is. I don't see anything interactable about this. And I can't rotate it. Let's see, we already, we can't play with the nozzle on the rubber ducky, and we already took off his band-aid.
The duck's inflated.
No, it's not. See? Now if I do this, then the duck inflates. But it was not previously inflated. So that's a lie.
It's a plastic-coated clothesline.
Okay.
Assorted candy. Colorful, no doubt also extremely toxic.
Yeah, the gentle sound of an air leak. It's almost soothing.
Rubber glove, patched up and good as new.
Yeah, sure it is. A couple of band-aids across the palm and it's fine.
It's a matchbook from the Fringe Cafe. It's a pushpin.
Yes, it is.
It's a leaf of organic plastic. It grows. It converts carbon dioxide into oxygen, but it doesn't need water or sun. No nourishment of any kind, actually. Convenient, but disturbing.
I kind of want to chew on it. I want to chew on organic plastic. I wonder what that feels like. I want to go nom 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 on that. I don't know.
It's my diary.
Okay. I can get a close-up of the monkey.
Constable Guybrush is a strange hybrid between man, ape, and musician. In addition to being an officer of the law, of course.
And there's a screw you can wind up.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! Hands up! Spread your legs! And do the monkey!
Mildly amusing, but
Dance.
irritating as hell. I'll shut him up now.
Okay.
My cash card. Usable anywhere in the world, and it's totally anonymous.
Totally anonymous. Okay. That can't be legal. Well, I guess, but... Okay, so I don't know if what Celine wanted me to see was in there, but... we've looked at everything in our inventory. So, let's get on the subway and go to where childrens have dreams. Where the little childrens... They have their dreaminess. Dreams are the magic that turn reality into peanut butter. There's a line from the Tales of Symphonia sequel, and I can't remember what it is. Courage is the magic that turns dreams into reality. That's the thing. Okay, how do I get a... Well, A, how do I get a ticket?
Looks
B,
like a large iron key.
there's a key down there, and I think it's underneath the tracks. Can I, Are these, like...
Can't reach down far enough.
Something to extend my reach with. Put the glove on the clamp? No. Courage is the magic that makes dreams a reality is what Google says, except no. No? Alright, Oh, well, magic is the magic that makes dreams a reality. Well, you know, a dream is a wish your heart makes.
When I was a wee lass, I tried fishing a couple of times in the pond behind my house, but I never caught anything. I hope my luck's improved.
Why are you suddenly Scottish? Alright, well, that didn't work.
Obviously, this is not gonna work. The clamp's already closed.
Clamp's closed. Clamp's closed. How do you open a...
That won't do any good. I need something tight to keep the clamp open.
Okay, but if I blow it up first... Yeah, alright. That makes sense. And then when it deflates, it'll close.
That's a pretty cool catch.
Yeah, alright. This is wild logic. Not really. We've got a clamp... Well, okay, we had a clamp that wouldn't close. We used something that slowly closed it, like a pressure valve. And then we went fishing with it. It kind of makes sense. I mean, it makes enough sense. It's not anything too far-fetched. Well, it's a duck, so of course it's a little bit far. I'm gonna stop talking. Yeah, now we have a dangle. Well, no, we don't. We have a key.
It's a large iron key.
Is it? Is it really? That's like... I don't think that's a key. I think that's somebody's, like, microphone stand.
The screen really is ubiquitous. There's no escape anywhere.
The screen.
Yeah, well, it is pretty rad, isn't it?
Hey, what the hell happened to you, dude? Oh, man, Surge. Do you guys remember Surge? I miss Surge. Where am I going? East Venice, Watertown Bridge. Watertown Bridge, Watertown Bridge, okay. Yeah, that is where I'm meant to go. And here I am!
Newport Transit Systems. Another victim of Amethyn. Poor guy's drugged out on Amethyn. They say the first motor function to suffer is always rhythm.
Yeah, he's just kind of like blong, blong.
Big sound from such a small box.
Oh, groove with me, baby! I'm in Sesame Street, too. Do I go this way, then? Yeah, over here. What's in here? Here we go.
Sir. Sir. I'll just leave my ticket here then, shall I? Yes. Yes, I guess I'll do that.
Yeah, sure, okay. I'm really not... Did I even need a ticket?
Slow day, I guess.
Alright, what's
It's
that?
a short, nude creature with a snout. Very inspiring.
Okay.
There's absolutely nothing out there. Nothing. Oh, there's a city, an entire world even. But nothing.
Oof. April. That's a bit much for me, I'm afraid. You've completely destroyed my brain.
It's a pointy-edged swan.
Oh, the pointy-edged swan. I played that game. And there's Cortez. He's looking at a picture. Talk to any of these other people? No, I can't really engage with anything. Yeah, April is incredibly cynical. And I guess that makes sense. She's a teenager in the, like, the shitty future.
For the life of me, I can't figure out why Cortez wants to meet me. Come to think of it, why do I want to meet him?
I don't know, April. Sometimes we just do things. Let's get this done so we can go home.
About time you showed up.
About time? I spent more than...
Mira, this painting. Right here. Look.
About this morning.
Apology accepted, señorita. It's a hot day and tempers run high.
But I wasn't...
Just look at the painting.
Alright, let's look at the... I mean, this is obviously, like, the plot is not going to progress until I stare at this painting. I don't see a sailboat.
What am I looking for?
What do you see?
Air? Two people? I don't know if I see two people. Well, yeah, I guess.
I see a statement on loss. The guy, he's hugging a girl, and by all rights, he should be happy, but he's not. He's probably already mourning the loss of her, even though that's still somewhere in his future.
Statements? Who cares about statements? Tell me what you see.
But what I see is a statement.
I
Alright.
see art.
Art, yes. And beyond that. Beyond art.
Beyond art? What goes beyond art? Science?
Technique?
Technique is what enables an artist to create art. Beyond technique, beyond artistry, what else is there?
Truth?
Truth. Exactly. A deeper truth. This painting, this particular work of art, speaks a deeper truth. It has a soul.
How can a painting have a soul?
It has a soul because it has an identity. It has a heart. The memory of this painting will survive
Is
beyond
this
this
an NFT
moment.
thing,
It will
Cortez?
linger in your mind, become part of the tapestry of your subconscious. It has made a lasting impression on you, and you're not quite sure why.
It's just a painting by some kid. It's not as if it's a Picasso or a Monet.
Now you're arguing technique. Not every painting by Van Gogh or Michelangelo is real art either, although they all demonstrate great technique and craftsmanship. And the scribbled drawings of a 5-year-old child are rarely technically impressive, but they may still have a soul. They may still be real art.
So you're saying real art is not defined by the skill of the artist? Then what is art? If just anybody can create something more real than artists who spent their entire lives developing their skills?
Art is still the work of artists, and skill, craftsmanship, technique, those things are critical to the success of an artist's work. But alone, those things are merely pretense. For something to be real, to be truthful, the artist must transfer, shift part of him or herself into the work to transcend the illusion and reach for the truth of art.
And what is the truth of art?
Who knows? I've been asking myself that question for years.
Excuse me? You don't even know? And what's all this about all the questions and lectures on truth and illusion? For that matter, why did you ask me to come down here in the first place?
Because
Actually, you didn't even ask me to come down. I spent my entire afternoon traveling all over Venice, deciphering a cryptic message, spending money I don't have on a subway ticket, only to have to stand here and listen to...
you saw something this afternoon. A waking dream, and you can't explain it. That's why you are here, isn't it?
I mean, I could get confrontational with him. Or I could just beg him to explain, or just agree blandly.
How the hell do you know these things?
It's as plain as the day, Señorita Ryan. You're under a lot of stress. My point about art and truth is this, April. Some things look real, but are not. And other things may appear to be of no consequence at all, but are in fact invaluable. Like Warren's painting here. And your dreams. There is both truth and illusion in dreams, and in the images they create. The problem is in sorting the one from the other.
You're telling me my dreams are true?
I'm telling you there are things afoot, and that you need help in sorting the truth from the illusions. My help.
Well, that figures.
Good. I was hoping you'd understand.
No, actually, I didn't understand a single word. You talk about art and truth and dreams and illusions, and I still don't understand what it all has to do with me. There are things happening, yes, and I came here because I thought maybe you're crazy enough to believe me, to help me. I don't know, sort through the debris and come up with the plausible explanation. But no, you tell me my dreams might be true, that I need your help, and that there are things afoot. I mean, who says afoot? I've never heard anybody use the word before. There are things afoot.
Está bien. I understand your reluctance to believe me, señorita. But I cannot convince you here, now. Meet me tomorrow.
What?
Meet me tomorrow, and I will tell you everything.
Not again, no way.
But you will. Because you are compelled to do so by your own curiosity. Because you are drawn to mystery. And because despite your skepticism, you believe I have the answer to all your questions, yes?
No. No, I don't care. I just want to have a normal life. No nightmares, no visions, no strangers telling me that things are afoot. Comprende, amigo?
Ay, Dios mío. Is that the time? I've got to run, señorita Ryan. I'll see you tomorrow then.
I said...
Goodbye.
Cortez is extremely good at being extremely punchable. Like, man, he works the angle like he wants to get decked in the face. Like, that would fulfill some kind of destiny that he has, that only he cares about. Okay, I get it. Here's the shoulder. Here's, like, the outline of the other person. It blends into the hair. Here's a depressed kid. It's a face. It's got a grid mark on it. I don't know, man. I'm more interested in whatever this squidgy naked thing
It's a
is.
short, nude creature with a snout. Very inspiring.
April's diary updates.
It's my diary.
It would be nice if I could, like... Oh, right. It's in the menu system. No, don't quit. Okay, do a quick save. Let's see, April's diary updates. Yeah, there is a lot of text in here. I was gonna do a bonus video where I read it all. But, there's a lot of text in here. Cortez is, how shall I put this nicely, completely and totally out there. He goes on and on about the truth of art, and then it turns out that's not the reason he wants to talk to me. But does he tell me why it's so urgent we see each other? No, he says, that'll have to wait until tomorrow. Right, yeah, as if. There's something strange going on, I know that. And it's obvious that it isn't just me losing touch with reality. Why would Cortez be involved if that's the case? So what the hell is happening? And does Cortez actually have some answers? I so don't want to hook up with the guy again. He freaks me out big time. But I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking, do I have a choice? Do I? Yeah, unfortunately, April, I'm afraid you don't have a choice. You've fallen into adventure game protagonisthood, and I'm afraid it's just gonna last forever.
Poor guy's drugged out on Amethyst. They say the first motor
Incidentally,
function to suffer is
Celine,
always rhythm.
I found that guy you talked about in your blog post. Alright, let's get home. Oh, we can't go home. We're working. Because I said yes like a moron. Oh well. Also, I went and looked at like all the stuff in my inventory and I couldn't see what you might have wanted me to see. Sorry. Okay, let's get back to, take it to the bridge. I see a peek at your inventory again. One sec. I got the cash card, I got Constable Guybrush, April's diary, which you can't read here, but can read in there. Whoops. The organic plastic, a push pin, the matchbook, the work gloves, the candy, the ring, and that key from the railroad tracks, which I don't know what it does. But which I picked up anyway because inventory. April, where are you going, honey? April, what are you... Okay, good. Yeah, don't just spoil what's missing. I'm good. I'm fine. Alright, I gotta go to the cafe. Sorry, folks, I went all the way back here, and then I have to actually go back where I came from. Run, April, run! Oh well, at least she moves faster than Kate Siberia. She jogs faster than Kate Walker. Okay.
I'm all scrubbed and ready to work, sir.
You'll be on the floor tonight, honey. Start taking orders.
No. Huh. Well, I wondered about the furry little dude.
I've got to find Cortez and get him to explain what the hell's going on. Insane or not, he's the only person I can talk to about this.
So, as I save the game here, I want you guys to know that there are two versions of that cutscene. In one, April is working and the fuzzy little dude shows up. In the other, April decides to stay home for the night and hang out with the lesbians on the couch. And, like, some kind of jungle intrudes on the living room. Either way, at this point I realized I was gonna have to deal with Cortez no matter what. I was gonna have to talk to him. He actually was the answer to the entire thing. He's not just a homeless crazy person. And so this point right here is where I always quit the game before, because I did not want to deal with his bullshit. But today, on this stream, for real, we're gonna go find out what Cortez is talking about. I always kind of hoped I could, get away with not dealing with him if, maybe if I stayed home, maybe if I went to work, but no. You really do. You cannot avoid Cortez, yeah. You are not immune to Cortez. Hey, Fiona.
Anything interesting going on outside?
Did you ever question your own sanity, April? I mean, did you ever wonder if you were going mad?
I'm quite certain I am insane.
I'm not trying to amuse you, April. I'm really serious.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, I felt like that. Many times.
I'll drink to that.
Then explain it to me. How do you deal with it? Do you lock it away inside yourself, or do you talk to someone about it? Because I'm at a loss here, April. I don't know what to do.
Well... if we're playing social counselor...
I talked to someone about it.
That's what I figured. It's not something you can just stow away and forget about. What I saw... I won't ever be able to forget that. Real or not.
What did you see?
Last night, right here in this room, Mickey and I, we were watching a movie, a documentary about the new synthetic rainforests in Mexico. You know, the ones that produce 8 times the oxygen of the original organic forests.
I've heard
As I
about-
know.
But I'm digressing. Anyway, about halfway through the movie, like I said, I'm probably going completely bonkers. This room became it was more like a vision, really, and I'm sure it wasn't holographic.
What kind of vision?
This room turned into a forest.
Oh, so that happens whether we're here or not.
It was like the forest came out of the screen and into the room. Like being in the middle of a hollow theatre, but with added resolution, hallucinogenic effects, and smells. It only lasted for a few seconds, and then it all just disappeared.
Did anyone else see this?
Mickey did, but she refuses to speak of it. Says it was just our imagination acting up, which leaves me wondering how long it'll take before I end up in a mental institution.
See, Cortez! I'm sure he's, you know, an interesting key to everything, and he kicks off everything, the plot and all, but right now, viewed from the perspective of where we are in the plot, he's a really pushy dude who can't take no for an answer and, has, like, no sense of personal boundaries. Who keeps telling April that there's something important about her, and he'll tell... and, you know, he'll tell her what it is later. So, that's bothersome. Oh, hey, Hopticon. Good to see you, and thank you for the subscription. You see, you, the player, know that there's something more to him. April, the character, doesn't. And when I play adventure games, I usually try to, sort of center myself in the mindset of the character a little bit and help them along. Take the view of, like, a benevolent guiding spirit or something. I'm Navi.
Something equally weird happened at the cafe last night.
What was that?
Last night, at the cafe, right in front of everybody, this creature appeared out of thin air. Just like your forest. It was only there for a few seconds and then it disappeared, but everybody saw it. Everybody.
Oh my. What's going on, love? I don't scare easily, but this is really getting to me.
Don't know. But whatever it is, I'm pretty sure Cortez is involved.
Cortez? How is he involved?
I don't know that either. I'd love to find out, though.
Maybe we can blame it on him. Maybe we can pin it on him. Hey, Cortez, stop fucking up reality.
Have you seen Cortez today?
No, darling. I don't think he's around.
Is her dreams and reality blending together? Yes, I think it is.
Could you tell Cortez I'm looking for him?
Certainly, darling. If I happen to see him.
Do you have any idea where Cortez is?
Sorry, he could be anywhere. Well, he does enjoy going uptown to watch old movies in some revival cinema, but where that is, I wouldn't know.
Who'd know?
Perhaps Zach. He is, after all, the self-appointed film expert around here. You should talk to him, darling.
So
Great.
far,
Zach, my very best friend in the whole wide world. Thanks.
so far there are no people in the dreams. Just talking trees and dragons, which are better than people.
What other weird things have happened lately?
Little things, like movement in the corner of your eye that's gone when you turn your head. And noises. The kind you're not supposed to hear in the city. Animal noises. Wild animals. And once, this was very early in the morning, mind, a few days ago, I looked down into the canal and saw what looked like an underwater city. But as I looked at it, it dissolved into ripples of water. Scary.
Anyway, it
You're
made
telling me, darling. I'm scared of cockroaches, for God's sake. What do you think this does to my nerves?
Anyway, it appears to not just be April's dreams that are bleeding into reality. Other stuff is bleeding
I
into
have
reality.
to get going.
Take care of yourself out there, darling.
Like there's an aquatic city out there somewhere. Why can't we be dealing with the aquatic city? Alright. Here's Zach's apartment. Let's go see if... Anytime, April.
That's Zach's room. I've never been in there, and I pray I never will. I never imagined I'd be doing this in a million years.
Oh, April, your wrists. They're lumpy.
Well, well, what do you know? The princess comes knocking after all.
Don't get your hopes up.
I think you're the one who's got her hopes up, babe. And you better hope I don't slam this door in your face.
Just do me one favor first, okay?
Well, give me a reason to, babe.
A reason? You want a reason? Okay. What about a date?
No!
Yeah. Good.
No!
Sure. Tonight. I'll meet you at the... pavilion, was it?
And, are you gonna put out?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Well, I mean, if I'm gonna use my VIP passes and my pills, babe, I just gotta know if it'll be worth it or not. You on?
We'll see, Zach.
Just don't do a Houdini and vanish on me, babe. If you're a no-show and I wait around for you all night, I end up looking like an asshole. And that wouldn't make me very happy.
I'll be a good girl and show.
Smart. So, what do you want to know?
The year 1999, everybody! Oh, boy.
You know where I can find Cortez?
Cortez, yeah? I knew there was something going on between you guys.
Don't be ridiculous, Zach. It's not what you think.
Whatever. Hey, like I give a shit? You're with me tonight, and by tomorrow morning, I don't think you'll find that old creep so appealing anymore.
So, where's Cortez?
When he's not outside reading or whatever the hell he does, he's usually at the Mercury Theater. They show old movies on real celluloid stock through a projector, like in the fucking Middle Ages.
Where's this theater located?
I don't remember the street it's on. It's been ages since I was there last. But you'll find it if you head out the East Gateway from Metro Circle. It's close to the Radio Power building, and there are tons of adult stores in the area. Actually, if you're not too busy, you could pick up something for us to watch tonight. Something really filthy.
Zach, I don't think...
Hey, whatever. I was just kidding, yeah? Babe, you got a major bug up your ass. Get a fucking sense of humor, yeah?
I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for the tip and the info.
Just be at the pavilion by 10, okay? I don't like waiting around for babies like you. Got a million better things to do. And it wouldn't be a good idea for you to ditch me. Not a good idea at all.
The worst human being alive, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, holy fuck balls. Can I kill this man with a thumbtack? Alright, let's just follow up on that lead.
It's kind of unsettling to be so aware of myself all the time.
You get used to it. Oh, Cillian, the description of the thingy is on the VOD, by the way. Right. To the trains. Where are the trains? Subway. Yes, good. Oof. So because I stopped at the start of Chapter 2 all the previous times I tried to play this, I had never encountered Zack before. I can't say I would have not stopped at the start of Chapter 2 if I had. That said, there is a lot of game, and I'm sure most of it does not involve Zack. The Metro Circle? Yeah, I think it does the Metro Circle I'm supposed to get off at. Well, this is a new, screen.
Would you believe this is the first thing I saw when I came to Newport? Big city? Gotta love it. Metro Circle, gloriously decadent. I hear Bingo's planning to buy the whole thing, convert it into a theme park or something. I'll believe it when I see it.
A theme park! Sure. Hi, Shateri. I, too, am, not exactly enamored with Zack. I can't wait until we show up on the date and have to, like, stab him to death with a pushpin.
It's a police officer.
Alright, I just walk past
This
the
is one of the
police.
smallest cross-level elevators I've seen. The big ones can carry up to 100 people at a time, and they go way fast. I've never been inside one, of course.
Alright, well,
Hold it! You're not taking this elevator.
Why?
Because you're not carrying proper identification. Didn't you know that's a corporate offense in Newport?
In Venice, you don't have to.
I see. Venice. I should have known. Step back or I'll be forced to take you down with extreme prejudice.
whatever you say, Constable Sub-Zero. Man, police are the same.
What's up with the cops in this city?
I'm sorry?
I mean, when you arrest people, you read them their rights, and then you sell them products.
It's all part of the job, miss. The police department is a subdivision of the Bocamba Mercer Company and the Bingo Corporation. They pay our bills.
Doesn't that constitute a conflict of interest?
Not if we don't arrest any employees of either company.
No,
That
that's
makes
the...
so not sense.
Does when you're faced with the prospect of getting the boot, miss. I have kids, and I'd like to see them through college.
How do I get permission to go through?
Only citizens of mid-level status or above are allowed to use these elevators. I guess you're new to the city, or you'd know that.
Yeah, fresh from the countryside.
You do look like a farm girl, it's true.
Really?
Hey, watch it! How do you get mid-level status?
Birth, money, marriage. Schmucks like you and me, miss. We're stuck here.
How the hell does Cortez
Speak
have?
for yourself, schmuck. Thanks, officer.
We're here to protect, serve, and to inform you of the fantastic range of products offered by Bocamba Mercer and Bingo, manufacturers of the world's favorite soft drinks and handguns.
Okay, but do you make a handgun that shoots soft drinks? Okay, well, I'm not going that way as far as I know. I don't think I can, like... Okay, there's the East Gateway. I don't think I can, like, coat these hard candies in poison and feed them to the cop. Although that is my first reaction, which probably says a few things about me.
It's a liquor store. This guy's the reason they invented the phrase hitting the bottle. And he's hitting it hard. Well, at least he's not doing Amethyst.
Let's see, there's a club over there, a dealer. Oh, is this a Sierra game? Am I gonna get hit by a car as soon as I cross the street? No.
I think he's selling something. Counterfeit. Triple strength raptures, probably. Highly addictive and guaranteed to blow your mind. Literally.
Neat. But probably not what we're in the mood for. The Maltese Falcon in Casablanca? Okay. Ooh, a trash can.
Trash.
It's never just trash, April. Go through the trash can. I demand it. Oh.
Lady, don't you keep playing with that thing now, you hear? Leave it be.
Green ooze.
Okay, can I, dip the hard candy in it? Yes! I can coat the candies in poison! Where did that cop go? Oh, this is gonna be fun! And I think I thought that the trip downtown was a waste. Conspicuous guy.
That guy's so conspicuous, he's gotta be a cop on a stakeout assignment.
Hello,
Hi there.
conspicuous
Having
man.
fun?
Didn't your mother teach you not to talk to strangers?
I'm an orphan.
Yeah? Well, all the more reason for you not to talk to strangers. Now get lost.
Why are you dressed like a cop?
What do you mean, why am I dressed like a... Hey, wait a second, what's it to you?
Just trying to do my bit for the boys in blue, sir. You look like a cop, so if you're on a stakeout or something, you should try to blend in a little more. Go native.
Yeah, how?
I don't know, but that trench coat, it sort of gives it away. Perhaps a pair of blue jeans and one of those I'm with stupid t-shirts might help.
Hold on, let me get this down right. Hey, wait a second, what am I doing? Who the hell do you think you are?
The NPD fashion consultant?
Is that supposed to be funny, ma'am? Are you a comedian or something? Because I'm not laughing. I'm not even smiling, am I? Now get your ass out of here and don't bother me again.
It's really
Is
hard
that
to
a
tell
threat?
what your facial features are,
Damn
sir.
right it's a threat.
Alright, we're being threatened. What's this?
It's a fuse box.
Ooh, it's live.
There's something wrong with the power in that box, and it looks like the theater marquee's connected to the same switch. It keeps flickering on and off.
Let's save our game before we do something potentially lethal. And then let's equip our work glove and, shove it in the fuse. No? What happens if I touch the box? Do I die?
Hey, keep your hands to yourself. That's city property, ma'am.
Oh, you're boring. Pop.
That door leads back into what looks like an alleyway behind the theater.
Okay. Anything?
locked.
Oh, it's locked. Does this key work? No. Let's go poison the police officer. I mean, I guess we can save one for Zach. Yeah, that's also in the VOD. Dinky candy.
Piece of candy soaking in green ooze. Gross.
Oh. I'm not allowed. I bet that was the infamous rubber duck puzzle? Oh, wait, I got back on the subway somehow. I don't want to get back on the subway. Radio? Yeah, there we go. That was the infamous rubber duck puzzle, though? Because, like... No, that didn't even slow me down, sorry.
Box office is closed. A Welsh ghost story, written and directed by Ragnar Tornquist. I saw that. It's a classic.
Yeah, Ragnar Tornquist, also the director of this game, and indeed the rest of the series. And also, The Secret World, an MMO I really miss, and I wish they had not tried to update to, like, action RPG combat, because it didn't work, and it lost so many...
Women in dire need of medical
Sorry.
attention. I thought that was a porno, but I guess it's just an artsy foreign flick. As long as they speak French, it can't be smut.
that's an important tip. If you speak French, it's not smut.
Bergman Festival at the Mercury Theater. Opens August 1st, 2209. That's on Tuesday. Sounds interesting. Maybe I'll go. It's locked.
It's locked. Hello, fat guy. I'm glad we have such an
Excuse
expressive
me.
name for you.
Yes, Oh, geez. Hold on there 1 second, lady. Dang marquee, light up! Good. Now stay that way, you hear?
Alright, that distracts him when it...
Do you know a man called Cortez?
No. I can't say as I does, lady. Ain't never met him. Now, I reckon I'd like to get on with my sweeping,
But I'm supposed to meet him here. Are you sure you don't know him?
Look, lady. I reckon you should just mind your own bee's knees and get. I told you, I ain't seen Cortez today.
You said you didn't know Cortez.
I reckon I don't know nobody by that name, so I tell you what. I'd mighty appreciate it if you'd stop bothering me and let me get on with my work. Jesus, Mary and baby Joseph, I reckon the whole dang world wants to find Cortez today.
Okay.
Thanks, anyway.
Yes, I'll tell you what. You go on now, and let Freddie Mellon do his sweeping before his mama, Mrs. Dottie Mellon, get all pissed off.
Okay, so I need this dude distracted. Oh, now I have a name, Freddie Mellon. Cool. I need this dude distracted. To distract him, I need to mess with the fuse box. And this dude won't let me mess with the fuse box. So... Let's poison this dude to get him out of the way. That's not the right answer? How come I have poison and I can't use it on anybody? It's like this game doesn't want me killing the NPCs. With, like, stinky butt ooze candy. Can I use it on myself? That is a great question. Let's find out. Maybe it only works on a non-person like an animal. Let's find out if it works on me. There's a mouth.
I'm not completely mad. It's soaking in green ooze and it smells like kerosene.
Okay, but those aren't reasons not to do it. Oh, man. Alright, so... I'm definitely gonna have to get this dude out of the way. Can I bother him some more?
Hello again.
Christ, don't you ever quit. What is it now?
Are you on the job?
On the job? What do you mean, on the job?
You know, an assignment, stakeout, undercover operation.
I suggest you get the hell out of here now, man, before things get ugly.
Was that a threat? Are you threatening me?
Are you threatening
Yes,
me?
I am.
Okay, well, what about the last
Hello
conversation
again.
option?
Christ, don't you ever quit. What is it now?
Don't you get tired of hanging around here all day long?
No, ma'am.
So you're completely fine. There's nothing you'd want.
That's right.
Nothing at all?
Nothing at all.
Not even a bite to eat?
Just had a full lunch, ma'am. Thanks for asking.
So you just had lunch.
That's right. At Cool Cow.
What did you have?
A triple whammy cow patty with a side order of grease onions and a large bingo cola. No ice.
What about fries?
And a double order of cheese and fried taters, yeah. Tastiest damn fries you're ever likely to find. Soaking in melted goat cheese.
And you had this when?
About an hour ago.
And you don't feel, the urge to go?
No, ma'am, no. My bowels are genetically enhanced and require only perfunctory attention.
The burger filled you up good? You don't have the munchies?
Well, now you mention it, I have a craving for sweets.
Yes!
I didn't have time for my usual Cool Cow strawberry pie with whipped cream, chocolate sauce, and a scoop of ice cream. Wait a second. What am I telling you all this for? Who the hell are you anyway? Hey, get out of here, ma'am, right this minute, or else...
Is this a threat? I think that was a threat.
A
I'm
very
glad April
serious
can
one,
recognize threats. Also, Jesus Christ, this man's bowels had better be genetically enhanced. I wish my bowels were enhanced to handle that kind of load. I wish I could eat that much food. Right now. Anybody here a genie? I wish I had that guy's order. No? Okay. Now I can
Would
poison
you like
the
a
man.
candy?
Hey, yeah, that'll hit the spot. What the hell? The taste! Sickening. I feel kinda... Christ!
Wow, that's a...
Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing? Did you just throw a rock at my head? Now, I tell you what, you shouldn't have done that. I reckon that was a bad mistake.
Well, not only did I poison him, I'm gonna get his ass kicked. Oh, wow, those animations. 1999, folks.
You should have seen him run, lady. I reckon I ain't never seen nobody run that fast. And he was clutching at his buttocks like he had the runs or something. He even lost his stupid old hat in the gutter.
Really? Free hat?
I ain't never seen anything that funny in a while.
Free hat? There it is. Free hat.
It's that detective guy's hat.
Put it on. Put it on. Dang it. Alright. Yeah, I got a hat. That's great. That wasn't even my objective. I was just trying to clear him out. Okay, let's fuck with this now. Expecting the car to hit me? Yeah, so was I. Okay, we've got unlocking thingamajig. Ooh. Alright, what's this?
It's a switch. I'd venture a guess and say it has something to do with switching the power on and off.
This
The
one's
heat's
melted.
caused this one to melt. I don't think it works anymore.
Alright. Oop.
The cable's almost completely severed. It would probably be easy to pull it out, provided I have some kind of protection against the electricity.
Cool, good. Well, that's a doom door noise if I ever heard one.
Dang, Marquis, light up! Hell, it gone dead on me now. I'm going to have to fix that sign proper this time round, I just need me a ladder and some tools from the basement.
Hey, don't mind me. Okay, you weren't. It's cool. Yeah, just let that clip right through the wall. It's fine.
It's a fuse box.
Okay, well, this is still locked, so, what's through here? Oof. It was a dark and creepy alley. And, oh, for a second I thought the game had locked. Yeah, let's save just in case.
When's the last time somebody picked up the garbage? Smells like moldy caramel popcorn and bingo cherry cola. Disgusting!
I like the echo effect on her voice
It's a
here.
mountain of garbage.
Alright, what's in the trash can?
It's a closed garbage bin.
Was I trying to get into the trash can? No. I moved the trash can out of the way and that revealed the ooze. What is in the
It's
trash?
filled with a bunch of dry rags, newspapers, and a half-empty oil can. Can anybody say extreme fire hazard?
Oh, I can! Yes, I don't know why I'm doing this.
All right, somebody's coming.
Hell blazes, we got us a fire.
Well, that didn't get me anywhere.
It's a fire alarm and a smoke detector. They must be really paranoid about fires in this place.
Alright, yeah, but all he does is come out the back and kick it. Maybe I can move it. What's this?
It reminds me of something, but I just can't put my finger on it. I feel an uncontrollable urge to raise my hands, though. The shadow's being cast by those garbage bags.
Interesting. What if sociopaths are just player characters in someone's adventure game? I mean, I'm like this all the time. There we go. Now there's a man. Maybe when he comes out and he sees the Shadow Man, he will, I don't know, charge into the wall like Wile E. Coyote. That's about all I can think of at this point. But we're on the seat of our pants here. We are just... We're making shit up to see what happens. Let's find out. Relit!
Alright, somebody's coming.
Run for it, April.
Hell's blazes, we got us a fire.
Don't move. Put your hands up. Okay. No, that's fine. Just ignore Mr. Trash Man.
It's a perfect fit. I'm so clever I could just die.
Alright, is there any way I could make this look more, you know, imposing? Oh! Where do I put this? Where do I put this? How do I do this? Save your game. Yeah, okay. I just saved my game, but I'll save it again. How do I do that? Okay, when I use the toy monkey...
Hey, you! Yeah, you! Hands up! Spread your legs! And do the monkey!
Mildly amusing, but irritating as hell. I think I'll shut him up now.
So, obviously what I gotta do is figure out how to get this guy to start while that dude is out here. Alright, I can just stuff him in the garbage heap. Okay.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! Hands up!
Alright, this time.
And do the monkey! Dance!
This time it ought to work. I might have to run over and restart it.
Do the monkey!
Alright.
Alright, somebody's coming.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! Hands up! Hell's blazes, we got us a fire! Monkey! Dance! Now, where's that voice coming from? Yeah, you! Show yourself! Hands up! Spread your legs! All right there, mister. Just don't you fire that gun now, you hear? I'm sorry I chased you earlier. Freddy'll do the monkey for you right now, if that's what you want, He'll do the monkey until
I don't know
you
what this is
ask him
accomplishing.
to stop, I reckon, Yeah, you! Hands up! Spread your legs! And do...
Okay, well that got me into the theater, though, so that's fine. And oh look, it's a big empty theater with just fucking Cortez in it. That's my
Way
prize.
out of here. Did you know that? There's no way out of Victor Hotel.
Alright.
All exits just...
We don't even get to watch the movie! Who's hoping for some, like, copyright-free Humphrey Bogart or something.
You have no idea what I went through to find you. First,
Do you like movies?
sure, who doesn't? Wait a second. I was trying to tell you that...
I don't much like modern movies myself. They're either too loud and expensive or too obscure and self-indulgent. But old movies, really old movies, have a charm and a simplicity that appeals to me.
Okay, Boomer.
Listen, please don't interrupt me again. It's starting to piss me off.
But I have never interrupted you, unless I've had something important to say, of course. But go ahead. What is it you wanted to talk about?
Why did you make me search all over the city for you?
Search for me? I've been here for hours, señorita. I haven't moved. The question ought to be, what made you go out of your way to find me?
Who is it?
You're just deeply irritating. Like,
You would come.
I understand you're trying to be the trickstery mentor, but you're just
No way out
deeply
there.
irritating.
Did you know that?
Alright, tell me about the movies,
What's so
Cortez.
appealing about old movies?
All exits just
I'm not gonna answer
now
any
you're
of your
changing the
questions.
subject.
back inside.
That's more my style, isn't it?
You can be annoyingly smug at times. Did you know that?
Of course. And I apologize for being so hard to locate today, but I had to lay low for a few hours.
Closer.
Does it have anything to do with the cop that was staking this place out?
Yeah. So it was a good thing I didn't stick my head out the door to look for you then, no?
He's gone now.
Why be happy?
Are you in some kind of trouble with the police? Wait, don't tell me. Immigration.
Die.
No, señorita. Not the police. There are bigger players than the police.
I don't want to know. I'm not getting mixed up with the mob or gangs or anything like that.
There's not much you want to be mixed up in at all, is there?
No, not really.
My life's complicated enough as it is, Mr. Cortez. I don't even know what I'm doing here.
I want to live.
Answers.
Not in here.
You want, you need answers.
You keep telling me that, but you never give me any answers. Just more questions. Like, who's out to get you? What's going on with me? How come you know so much about me?
Later.
I plan to answer all your questions today,
No way
April.
out of here. Did you
By
know
the
that?
time you go to sleep tonight,
There's no way out of
your
it.
world will have changed,
All exits
and nothing will ever be the same.
they just lead back inside.
You're just being cryptic again. It's like soap opera sex. Lots of boring dialogue, and when they finally go to bed, everything's dark and covered by blankets.
You want the full Monty
Why
then?
is that your...
Come with me. Come outside. No more talk.
Getting closer.
I will show you the truth.
Soon.
Why is that her go-to analogy?
And why are you so? Do you have any reason to be happy?
This is probably as good a place as any. At least there's no one around to see, except rats.
To see what?
Stand back, señorita.
What for? What are you doing?
Yeah,
Why,
what
Alice,
happened to the other... I don't know.
I'm sending you through the looking glass.
What? What is that? Please tell me it's a hologram.
It's a mirror to reflect your dreams.
I don't see anything, just light.
Oh, you have to step through.
Step through that? Oh no, I don't think so.
This is the moment of decision, April. All time, past and present, revolves around this moment. The destiny of worlds is in your hands. But you must make the choice on your own. La vida es corta. You must decide how to live it best.
Well, honestly,
I'm not sure what I should do.
I understand. It's a difficult decision, because whatever you do, your life will change forever. So take your time. Think about it. Don't rush into a decision you're not ready to make.
so we... So what do you think, guys? Do we jump through Cortez's giant pulsating blue portal? Or do we walk away and have a date with the... Yeah, this isn't much of a question, is it? Like, whatever's through this door, it's gotta be better than Zach. Yeah, I can't actually... I don't think that's actually an option. Let me try talking to Cortez again. Yeah, I'm not allowed to just sprint face first into a brick wall.
Are you ready to step through the looking glass?
Ah, heck.
All right. I'll do it.
Vamos. Enter the light.
Don't say that. It sounds too ominous. Just tell me what's gonna happen.
You're about to take the first step on the longest journey of your life.
Hey, that was the title of
But
the
don't
game.
worry. I'll be waiting right here.
I must be insane to do this.
Do it.
Yes. It's pretty much a given.
Do it. Get in the glowing blue circle.
Oh, I almost forgot. When
What?
you're ready to come back, pay a visit to a friend of mine called Westhouse, Brian Westhouse.
Hopefully I'm not gonna need my monkey. Yeah, west of house. Oh, God. No, don't zoom in! That's where what came from.
Vaya con Dios, child. And may the balance protect you.
Oh, okay.
Cortez? Cortez! I have a bad feeling about this.
I think the graphics in general aren't very
What was the name
kind.
Cortez told me to remember? Westhouse? Brian Westhouse? I think that was it. Cortez said to look him up when I wanted to go home. Well, I want to go home now.
Oh, you haven't been on any rides yet, April. You gotta go on the rides. So Datherian redeemed and explained the plot. April Ryan has been having weird dreams about a big glowy dragon that's like, hey, you're my daughter, you're important. And she's been being harassed by this homeless street dude named Cortez, who's like, hey, you're having weird dreams, you're important. And after a lot of rigmarole and hand waving and, all that kind of thing, she finally tracks down Cortez. And he's like, hey, get in this portal. And she's like, what? No? Why? And he's like, well, you'll see. And she's like, okay, I guess I'll get in the portal. And now you're caught up. So here we are in the portal. And there are monks here. And they're looking at us. Except I think they're carved on the wall. Yeah, those aren't actual monks. I mean, that's the extremely abridged version. It makes more sense in context. Arguably. Oh, hello.
He looks like some kind of priest.
Does it? Yeah. This makes plenty of sense to me. Are you legally allowed to talk to me?
Hi.
Et tu? Emile, tu vas?
Nope.
Tu van sav ken? Tu vu ken alar? Et tu istak mele? Ithira? Ton maris ton. Aku kandi. Good. Niranton al voce. Sank al koda magic. Torante. Salhe. Naven. All tongue.
So there's magic, and we're in Toronto, I think.
What does Altum mean?
Maris. Tu verinelian aran tu torank lock eton.
And we pop and lock a ton.
Aku tu fata. Sequandare. Ken estale. Ton.
Ton. Okay, ton. I got ton.
Aku kandi.
All right. I heard that. I'm just gonna keep listening.
Orta I beginning. Parasintin you. You have pieza I magic I Sara. I the knowledge. Aritua ya I tue by generations e umani. Knowledge of all tongue.
Unami is the knowledge of all tongue? Delicious. Yeah, I think we're learning the language through like osmosis.
Now you have allowed the magic to enter your heart, and the knowledge of all tongue, ever present but dormant, to guide your ears and your tongue.
I have?
I understand you. You speak English? Why didn't you just tell me straight away?
No, child. I do not speak English. I speak Naven, all tongue, the common language of Arcadia.
Arcadia? Wait a second. How did I get here? What is this place, and who the hell are you?
Oh, my manners have abandoned me yet again. I'm afraid my preoccupation with ancient texts and the company of my fellow fathers have left me unequipped with the grace of social intercourse.
Meaning what?
That I have been rude. My name, dear child, is Tobias Grensret, and I am the Vestrum of the Sentinel, the Order of the Balance. We are the Fathers.
Okay. I'm April. April Ryan.
I take it this is your first shift, your first passage through the Divide?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I guess this is my first shift.
Then I will explain everything. Someone must. You are without guidance, without a mentor?
Mentor? There's this guy Cortez. He assisted me, told me about magic and truth and dreams and portals. Crazy stuff. Well, it seemed crazy at the time, although now I don't...
Cortez? Ah, yes, Cortez. Very good, very good. Then come, let us proceed. Let me show you Mercuria, the grandest city of all ages.
Ooh, city. She is dense and genre blind, but she is in the Alice role, and the Alice role is no good if you have somebody who is picking all the tropes out and calling all the shots before they happen. You gotta have, like... If everybody is in water and you introduce a fish, then you should put it in a plastic bubble. So when the bubble pops, it's meaningful. That said, this ain't much of a grand city.
Explore Mercuria, April. See the sights, meet the people, and then, when you are ready, return to the temple. I will answer whatever questions you may have then.
Okay, let's tourist. Hey, being a jerk about it is the April Ryan way. Stalls. Alright. Oh god, it's that fucking hat.
In a world without the screen, that's what passes for entertainment. And it's pretty darn good.
Is it? April, is it really that good? Okay.
My intuition tells me
Maps!
that he sells maps.
Okay. It's not like our cash card is gonna fly here. What's this?
What a sorry-looking bird.
Hey, you don't look too polished yourself, lady.
Oops, I didn't know you could talk.
Didn't look as if you could talk either.
Are we allowed to converse with the merchandise?
It's a game of some kind. That's a particularly sleazy-looking merchant. I wonder what he's selling.
Want to test your skill and perception with a game of cups? There are prizes to be won!
What can I win?
Well, there's coin, of course. Double your bet or choose from a wide variety of exotic prizes. Like this antique Domari canter from Guyenne. A superb replica of Mount Tyranny cast in pure solid iron. A magic walnut from the once glorious island kingdom of Ansiel. And this, unique bird.
Get me out of here!
Keep your beak shut, you scraggly piece of... And he talks! Great for feasts and for the amusement of infants. He's our top prize, a real keeper.
Yeah, I want to see what he can teach some infants. How to swear like a sailor, presumably. I have no money.
Sorry, but I'm broke.
May the balance bring coin to your pocket, young lady, so that you may return to me and invest it in a game of cups.
Yeah, I need money so I can win a bird. That said, do I really need somebody to be a sassy sidekick when April is kind of, you know, her own sassy sidekick? What's with this sassy lost bird? Alright, well, I guess I investigated the stalls. Let's check out the city. Wow, this... This is the city that... Oh, hi, okay. Well, there's more to it. Well, how come nobody told me? Okay. Where even is April? Right here, okay.
Those guys must be part of the City Watch. They look a hell of a lot more intimidating than the Newport cops, despite the lack of an exoskeleton.
What's this?
This guy's selling musical instruments. Most of these I don't even recognize. But he's got a drum in there and what looks like half a guitar and a couple of dried rabbit carcasses. Ugh.
Yeah, she is a sheltered girl.
The walls look ancient. Mercuria must be at least as old as anything back in the real... in my world.
Thank you, April. I hate when people fall into the habit of referring to their own world as, like, the real one. Like, nah, screw you.
She's selling a variety of fresh fish.
So April is already catching herself on that, and I respect it.
This guy's selling lobsters, crabs, eels, and... What the hell is that purple thing? That is so not appetizing.
I said she is kind of critiquing the local food without tasting it, but you know, she probably hasn't eaten anything that hasn't come out of a machine. Oh, wow.
The size of these galleons is truly breathtaking. And there are dozens of them, not to mention a number of smaller vessels. Mercuria must be a very important and very busy port.
Alright, we're just into the locals. What's
Blue
this?
fire. It's either propane or magic. I'm guessing the latter.
Fair.
It's a lighthouse, much like the ones we have at home, except this one, of course, burns a blue fire.
Yeah, all the fires are blue around here. Let's check out this pier.
I wouldn't feel too comfortable about sailing anywhere in that. It's like a toy boat for children.
Oh, Miss Boat Expert now. What? Who are you?
The old man and the, ocean? Looks like a lifetime at sea has left its tracks on him.
You might want to consider waiting till you be out of earshot before you badmouth me.
Do I have to?
It's a quaint, old-fashioned treasure chest. I wonder if there's anything exciting inside it, like doubloons or whatever they're called.
You're not gonna respond to that one? Okay. Let's chat up the locals.
Hello, old man.
I got me no treasure, and I got me no map of no buried treasure. I just be an old sailor with no ship, so leave us be.
What are you doing?
Mending nets, of course. What it look like I be doing?
Couldn't
Well
even
versed in
tell.
maritime customs.
Mar what? Ah, yas mean sea life, do you not? Ah, the smell of the salty sea, the lapping of waves on your ship,
I can't
the
tell if this man
spray
is
of
human or
cold
not, come
water
to
on
think of
your
it.
face, plump maidens in every pot. I tell yous, I be having stories about the sea.
He's definitely horny.
What have you got in that chest?
What chest?
The one you're sitting on.
Oh, that be no chest, girl. That be me stool. Aye, me stool, carved into the uncanny likeness of a chest.
But what's in it?
No priceless treasure, that be for sure. Nothing at all. It be empty.
I'd better get going.
Ah, yous young'uns be always running round. Everything be so important. Yous be having no time to sit down and take a breath. So go. Be not wasting your time here with me.
Sir, you are very passive-aggressive. You just keep working your weird flipper claw hands. Can't really do much for him. Let's check out the other boat.
Assorted cargo.
Oh, miscellaneous. My favorite
It's
category.
a small ship or boat. I don't know the difference. Is there a difference?
Sailors will tell you yes.
Judging by his ungainly stance, I'd say he's a mariner pining for the sea.
Sailors will tell you there's a difference between a ship and a boat. Normal people will say no, there isn't.
Ahoy there, matey!
Oh god, April,
Pardon?
why?
Isn't that how you sailors greet each other?
No.
What do you say then?
Usually, hello. And if it's sunny, nice day for it. We might even try a how are you today then, if we're feeling adventurous. But never, ever, ahoy.
This is valuable information.
Aye, matey, that it be.
Are you putting me on? Alright.
Why aren't you out at sea?
Do you see the sail on that barge over there?
Yes?
Is it flapping?
What?
Is it flapping? Is the sail flapping in the wind?
No.
And why is that then?
Because it's not windy?
Exactly.
Well, can't you just use oars or something?
Oh, what an excellent idea. Now, why didn't we think of that? Of course, Oars! By Jaw's stunted left arm, that's it. Why have we been moored to the dock for a month with our merchandise dropping in value when we could have just rowed our way to Guyenne?
Are you being sarcastic?
Sarcastic? Me? What in Jaw's name makes you think that?
Are you Jaw? And yeah, I'm starting to see why we need a sassy animal companion. April is so far out of her depth she can't even muster, like, cynicism. Just a sort of blank-eyed confusion.
How long's it been since the last wind?
Near a month. Ever since that accursed alchemist put some kind of spell on the wind.
Alchemist?
The Moja'll be cursed if I know why. But it's a bloody catastrophe. I've sent some good people of mine up north to deal with him. But not one has returned. Now the Areed High Council speak of sending an entire army platoon to sort him out. But I'm afraid that just might piss him off.
Neat!
Who's this alchemist who cast a spell on the wind?
I believe his name is Clax. Roper Clax. Lives in a bloody rock somewhere up north, beyond Riverwood.
Thanks for the chat.
Aye.
I mean, we got names like Roper Clax and Riverwood. We have definitely entered the fantasy genre. Are your clacks roping? If so, you may be entitled to financial compensation. How do I leave? I don't want to go back. Yeah, just up the pier. Well, this was 1999. It was the last year when there was time for clacks. Alright, well, we checked out the pier. We did not get into that old man's chest. But if we really need money, we will, we'll go back and try and bug him for handling or something. Fantasy apostrophe. Oh, yeah. The Gehen. I mostly know Gehen as, like, actress's dad from Myth, and he was a dick.
The whole fountain's been carved in one piece from a granite-like material. Very impressive.
Could it be granite?
What the hell kind of animal is that?
Brontosaurus? I don't know. Try hitting the stalls again. Did I miss somewhere to make money? Can I? Well, we didn't exhaust the conversation.
Surprise, I'm still here.
Yep, you sure are. We didn't exhaust the conversation tree with either of the merchants. So...
Maps, I got maps. Can I interest you in a map, miss? Top-notch, hand-drawn in quality ink by skilled sunwriters. Ain't no better in all the Northlands.
Thank you. Billy Crystal? Who the hell? What the hell voice is that?
Do you sell maps of the city?
Can't help you there, miss. The Guild of Tourism has monopoly on city maps.
Oh no, it's the
I
guild.
can tell you're not from around here, or you'd know that. Got tons of maps of all the Northlands, though, from the city of Tyron to the Bay of Fire. Maps!
I didn't expect this to be a sequel to Loom.
Where can I find the Guild of Tourism?
They're closed for the holidays.
Sure, that makes sense.
The Guild of Tourism is closed for the holidays. Tourism works very differently here.
How much are your maps?
That depends, miss. I got a very nice one here of the Border Mountains for only 6. Aaron's fresh from the quill of a sunrider. Maps, get your maps here.
That's That's a unit of currency, okay? We use errands here.
Mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Yes, maps?
You have, like, a quirk there,
Do you know Vestrum Tobias?
Everyone knows Vestrum Tobias, girl. He's been an important part of this city for as long as I can remember.
What can you tell me about him?
The Vestrum is an honorable man, but a conservative one, and I don't know if he still has the best interests of the people at heart.
Okay, that's fair.
Sometimes I think he worries too much about custom. The Sentinel have been our so-called protectors and keepers of the balance for so long we don't even think of it anymore. But now that the Vanguard are introducing a new way of thinking, new philosophies, I'm afraid the Sentinel will find their power diminished before too long. Their resistance to change will be their downfall. Mark my words, their downfall for certain. And Tobias, honorable man that he is, will be remembered as the captain who went down with his ship.
See, I have no idea how seriously to take that opinion, because I basically just, like, did the fantasy world equivalent of soliciting a taxi driver for his political opinions. And God knows what kind of conspiracy nonsense this man may be spouting at me.
How do you get along with your neighbors?
The Cups handler? Stay away from him, miss. He takes great joy in robbing people's purses. You can't beat him, not without magic. And he doesn't allow magic at his table.
Interesting.
How would he know if I did use magic?
Oh, he's got one of those blasted talismans. They're always digging up magical artifacts in Shagagriel, and they sell them to dogs like him for a silver coin or two. Get a proper job, you son of a mole!
Shagagriel. Shagagriel. That's a fucking name. Shagagriel. I live in Shagagriel. Yeah, right. Chagagri. It's no worse than, like, I don't know, Newark.
What do you know about Stark?
Land of wonders, strange customs, and machinery. Ah, to be in Stark. I'd give my right leg. Well, perhaps not my right leg as such. You really need two sturdy legs to stand on in this business, or you'll find yourself... yes, a grand place indeed, free of this blasted, chaotic, unpredictable magic. Does no good to anyone. Now, machines built by man, controlled by man, in servitude of man. That's the future, isn't it? Yes, the Vanguard may be a little unorthodox in their methods and teachings, but they're right about one thing. Stark and Arcadia belong together, not apart.
So Stark is the land of machines. It's a much less clever reference now that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been everywhere for decades, isn't it?
What's Arcadia like?
What can I say about a whole world, girl? It's a beautiful place for sure, but we're stuck in the past. We don't look ahead, not like our cousins in Stark. Magic is all well and good, but it won't bring our world into the modern age, and Arcadia is untamed. It's wild and unpredictable. Good for the map business, sure, but not so good for productivity and expansion. No, some people may consider our world a paradise. The Sentinel, for one, they'd prefer to keep it just the way it is. Me, I'd like to see some changes, and fast.
Thanks for your help.
Maps!
Okay, so I'm kind of getting the picture here. The Vanguard, who are extremely excited about change and whatnot, are pushing to merge the two worlds.
No maps for me
Whereas
today,
the
thanks.
Sentinels are attempting to keep them apart.
Fair enough, miss, but don't expect me to come running to your aid if you ever get lost in Riverwood. Without my maps, you'll probably end up a mole's dinner or worse. Maps!
So, I mean, you know, I'm not inherently not in favor of merging the worlds. I just don't know what exactly that would entail. And people keep talking about the balance. Well, if this world becomes technological, presumably April's world becomes like a magical crapshoot. Speaking of magical crapshoots, we still don't have the money to play this game. Oh. Well, maybe we would. Yeah, we can do that. Let's save. I don't have a strategy for winning this shit. Well, let's see what happens.
Is that gold? Only valid Arcadian coin in iron and other precious metals allowed at my table, young lady. Take your worthless gold elsewhere.
Yeah,
Gold?
fair.
Worthless? Now I have heard everything.
No, that's... You don't know the economic situation of this world, April. And they ain't gonna take American Express. Alright. Well, we could go back and harass... Hello, Ryman. We could go back and harass the, shopkeeper... the sailor about what's in his chest until we turn blue in the face. But we were promised answers back at the temple. Let's go get some answers. Because we have many questions. Okay, let's run over here first, because April's gonna take like a weekend to walk up here. Hey, Windchaser.
Mr. Tobias?
Tobias. Just call me Tobias, please. I require no ceremony from a distinguished guest such as yourself. Did you enjoy the sights?
I don't know. I'm overwhelmed. Walking around out there, seeing with my own two eyes things that can't possibly exist. I kept thinking, it's all a dream. I'll wake up at any moment now and everything will return to normal. But then I realized, I'm still here. It's real. I can touch it. I can smell it.
You could have eaten it.
And you know what?
It
doesn't
good.
make sense. Nothing makes sense here. Magic, alien creatures, parallel worlds. I don't believe in those things. I don't believe in fairy tales.
You're in one.
In your world, in Stark, there is no room for magic. That is, and always has been, the curse of science, the fallibility of logic and order. They leave no room for the imagination. If it does not fit into the narrow perception of the laws of nature that your world adheres to, it's a fairy tale.
Y'all ever talk to
But
Carl
then,
Sagan?
magic has its downsides too. It's unpredictable. It invites chaos. It puts the balance in peril in a way that science alone never could.
I keep hearing about the balance and about Stark and Arcadia and... This is probably going to sound strange to you, but I'm clueless. I have no idea what this place is or what I'm doing here or... All I know is that something strange is happening in my world, I guess.
Y'all ever think science lacks
Dreams felt
imagination?
so real, and then things started happening in real life too. Things that couldn't happen, and
I think I will begin at the very beginning. I believe that is
Of
why
course I
you were
can't
sent
pause.
here. To learn, to understand, to see for yourself. Like you said, you cannot believe in this place. Well, you will. After you have learned the truth, you will. Come with me. and I will tell you the story of Earth as your books never have. And when your eyes and ears are open to the truth, perhaps your mind will follow.
That's a scientific
We can only
principle.
hope. Come.
You know, you ever think that science lacks imagination? Go watch the original Carl Sagan Cosmos, like for real.
This is the true story of the balance, as observed by the Sentinel, the Order of the Balance, the Fathers. The Sentinel Minstrom committed this story to the pages of the scriptures and to these temple walls thousands of years ago, so that coming generations could learn and understand their past and their future. The wall paintings we are looking at became known as the murals of the balance, and it is through these images that I will recount our common history to you, April Ryan. The
Yeah, we're
story
gonna learn the
begins
true
and ends
history of
here
reality.
with this mural. Ages ago and in ages to come, the earth was one, and magic and science existed side by side in nature and in all people. There was balance, and there was harmony.
And the Fire Nation
You're saying
attacked.
there was just one world then?
One world, one earth. Magic and science in balance with each other, within each and every living creature. The power to make the stars dance and to create life itself was within our grasp. But then, humankind began to exploit this divine power of two, and they saw fit to use it for their own selfish purposes. The balance of the cosmos was in peril.
I'm
Unless
so
something
glad
was
we're
done,
learning history
unless
from this
man
dude's
was
wizard
humble
paintings
and
on the side of his
learned
van.
to fear the power he wrought over cosmos, the twilight of chaos would fall upon Earth.
What is his face?
It had happened before, in distant times and on distant worlds, and it would happen again. And every man, woman, and child of every people and every race would be devoured by the coming apocalypse. We were given a visitation then. The Drag Kin, having lived among us for untold generations, rose to offer their guidance and assistance in preserving the balance on our world.
Okay. You going, April?
The Drag? I think I've heard that name before.
Drag Kin, Draken, Dragons, whichever name they go by, they remain the eternal servants and custodians of the balance. There were 4 of them here on Earth, and of the 4, one who would found the Order of the Balance, the Sentinel. The first Minstrom were instructed that magic and science would have to be separated before the balance collapsed and brought untold disaster. Earth would have to be split in 2 equal parts. Arcadia and Stark, magic and science, chaos and order. The first Sentinel were counted 13, 6 scientists, 6 magicians, and one who was between, the Drag Kin, our mentor, our custodian, our learned guide. Both magic and science were needed to perform this most difficult of tasks, to split a world in 2, to create 2 worlds from one.
Wasn't the use of that kind of power dangerous to the balance?
Yes, and so for this purpose, they built a tower to channel their powers and focus them on the divide that they would create. The Kin had brought a disc with them, a disc forged in the fire of their world.
Oh, Dragon Tunes.
Placed at the base of the tower and the epicenter of the divide, the disc and the tower would become one, a conduit for the flow of magic and science. At the appointed hour, the 13 came to the tower, and with them a woman whose destiny was decided by the purpose to which she had been born. She would be the first guardian, the human protector of the balance, who would stay in the tower for 1,000 years to watch over the 2 worlds and to ensure that the flows of magic and science were always equal. And so the ritual began.
Are you gonna wrap this story up any year soon?
One world was to become 2, separated by the balance, and each world visible to the other only by way of dreams. Who was ushered into which world was not an arbitrary choice, nor one taken lightly. For the magical creatures, the choice was simple. They had to go to Arcadia. Their kind would not survive in Stark. But for others, families were torn apart, lovers separated, and friends lost for all eternity.
On purpose, or was it
Encircled by
funny,
the 12
or
and the one who would be guardian, the disc at the base of the tower began to spin faster and faster as more and more power flowed through it, until it was a blur. Darkness enveloped the tower, but the disc glowed brighter and brighter. Reality turned, and in one moment, a new reality had been created and 2 new worlds born. In the tower there was silence. The original disc had disappeared, and in its place was a smaller counterpart, a similar yet different disc. Around and outside the tower the world looked different. They were now between Stark and Arcadia, between reality and dream. This was the realm of the balance and of the guardian, and it would be her home for the next 1,000 years. The one who was kin picked up the disc and said, "This disc is a counterpart to the original disc, which has now become this realm, and the key to which has been split and divided in 4.
could this meeting have been an email?
The key is the disc, and the disc is this realm." This mystified the 12, and the one who was kin continued, "Know only this. The Guardian's realm cannot be broken unless the disc is broken. But nor can it be repaired without the disc being repaired. The 4 pieces, that is the key, will be given to the 6 of you who are to be taken to Arcadia for safekeeping. Yet the key will never be complete," he went on, "without the precious stones that adorn each piece. I will keep 1, and my fellow kin the 3 others. Should the day come when this realm must be repaired, or the worlds reunited, and that day will come, you will assemble the disc, and the kin will come together one last time." With that, 6 of the 13 went to Arcadia, and 6 to Stark, and the one who would be guardian ascended to the throne. Witness the mural, where her dreams and hopes, her very soul, were locked away in the disc. In service of the balance, these traits were nothing but barriers. Through new eyes, the imbalance between the worlds was as clear as the stars themselves to the Guardian, and with one thought, she channeled chaos from Arcadia and logic from Stark into the disc, and redistributed the power wherever it was needed. A new era had begun, the era of the Guardian. After they left the tower, 2 of the Drakkin went to Stark, the other 2 to Arcadia. The 6 who came to each world started what is now known as the Sentinel, the Order of the Balance. But while in Arcadia the Sentinel thrived, in Stark they did not. In Stark, the memories of magic and the balance could not survive in the face of the new reality of natural laws, of logic, and of science. And soon, very soon, Arcadia became nothing more than legend, a myth, tales of fairies to recount to impressionable children, and stories to frighten and entertain around a fire. And while dreams still brought sights and sounds of Arcadia to those asleep in Stark, they were discounted as mere dreams and nothing more.
So that's it? We forgot about our past and about Arcadia?
God, April's still here, I
And
forgot.
that's the way things are? Then what's wrong with that? And why does magic from Arcadia seem to have begun leaking through to Stark?
That is another long story. But I can tell that you are tired of stories, and so I shall be brief. As I told you, while in Arcadia, the Sentinel grew in numbers and in strength. In Stark, while flourishing for a brief time, they were soon diminished and powerless. Some of the Stark Sentinel did not take kindly to this, and they berated the Arcadian Sentinel for their politics and teachings. The Stark Sentinel wanted people to work towards reunification, while their brothers did not. So the inevitable soon came to pass, and the Stark Sentinel parted ways with their Arcadian brothers and named themselves the Vanguard. And while at first their philosophy was not so different from ours, over the years it changed radically. The Vanguard wanted the divide torn down, the worlds reunited, and the return to what they called the Glorious Ages.
This speech started 8 minutes ago. I've been watching the clock.
But first they needed their own servant in charge of the balance, their own guardian. Now, every 1,000 years, a new guardian took the place of the old one, because no one can be separated from their souls for any longer than
I feel like I've been separated from my soul for 1,000 years. You want to wrap this up, Kojima?
The balance provided the seed from which a new fruit grew. But now, it has been 200 years since the previous guardian, the 12th guardian, was to be replaced.
Okay, 12 guardians.
Every new child born to the balance has been taken away by the Vanguard to be studied in an attempt to control them. In every instance so far, they have failed. But the 12th guardian could wait no longer. Only a short time ago, the disk in the tower shattered, and the guardian left his throne. The balance is now untended, and we have yet to find a new guardian. Unless we do so, the Vanguard may get their chance. And they may be able to place their own puppet on the throne, to rule the balance according to their principles. And this we cannot allow. It will mean the end of Stark and Arcadia, and the dawn of an era of chaos.
Well, maybe we could use an era of chaos.
I understand the history. I can even accept it. But I don't understand why I'm here and what Cortez
April, are you asking questions?
The balance is in peril, April. The Guardian has abandoned his tower. He has disappeared, and there is no one to take his place. He must be reinstated to protect the balance until a new Guardian may be found.
And what can I do? I'm nobody. I've just been having a lot of bad dreams.
You are a strong shifter. I have not seen your like in my lifetime.
A shifter?
Someone capable of opening doors between worlds. A shift. A portal between the realms of Stark and Arcadia.
Are you kidding? I didn't do anything. Cortez was the one who opened the shift, and he just waved his hands around in the air. I don't think I'd be capable of opening a portal even if I had a magic wand.
Only a shifter's own power can allow her to travel. No one else can do this for her. Cortez only channeled your power to aid you.
Oh good, he had his hands all over my power. That's good to know.
Even if that's true, I don't have any control over my talent.
Not yet. But in time you will. How else do you intend to travel back to your world?
Subway?
God, I hadn't even thought about that yet. Can't you help me?
I'm afraid not. Even if I could shift, I would not be able to channel through you like Cortez did.
So, I'm on my own?
If you have any questions, I will do my best to answer them. But
no,
aside from
no questions.
Yes. Yes, you are.
That's so not cool.
No, it has been unseasonably warm. If you don't mind, I will return to my studies now. Thank you for listening to an old man and his long stories.
No, thank you. It's starting to make a little bit of sense now.
A little bit?
That is good news. Come see me again if you have any more questions.
We are now about 10 minutes past the 2-hour mark, which is where I would normally wrap up a stream, but Man, fucking Odysseus here had to let wind out of a bag at me for a while. Like, yeah, I'm saving my game. I'm saving my game, guys. Okay, so we learned about the history of the world from this dude's, like, Side of the Van Wizard murals. And, we got to know, you know, Vanguard bad, Chaos bad, Balance good. The Vanguard would be bad because they would connect the two worlds. So April, who is a shifter with the power to connect the two worlds, has to go stop them from connecting the two worlds. I think I got that right. Alright, we're gonna wrap it up here. Tomorrow... Yeah, also there were dragons. There were like 12 dragons. We don't get to see any of the dragons. They didn't paint murals of the dragons. Which, you know... That's an oversight. You're supposed to paint murals of the dragons, guys. Well, at least we have the conversation log, you know? The story of the balance, the mural of the balance, the story of the balance, yeah. We have logs of the conversation. That's great. Yeah, April, I agree. Alright. We are done for now. Tomorrow I may or may not stream. I probably won't. But on Saturday, we go back to Ys 8. Pretty much all day long. As always, I thank you all for showing up. Somehow, y'all didn't die during that speech, which is miraculous. I'm so sorry if that caused, like, brain damage or, unwanted sleep disorder. Like, if you're narcoleptic now because of this game, I apologize for that. Yeah, I'm glad that I am playing this, because I snark a lot, but I genuinely do find this kind of thing interesting. And I'm looking forward to winning a bird in a festival game, and, you know, all that, but we gotta wait for that, you know? So maybe I'll stream tomorrow, maybe I won't. Right now we're off. So I'm gonna check real quick, see if there's a raid target I think would be appropriate to dump you guys on. Yeah, I'm enjoying the game a lot, honestly. I'm having fun. It's a lot. It's a lot. Keldon is around, but we have raided into him a lot lately. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and drop stream right now. I'm pretty exhausted. I gotta process all of that stuff. I gotta make that make sense when people do explain the plot redeem. You know, I gotta make that make sense, you guys. Feel bad for me. Ahem. Anyway. You're all great. Thank you for showing up. Good night for now.